Hi Boomers, Coach Lonnie here, and it is time for the Boom Huddle. As you guys know, I've been doing Coach Lance's LG1 nutrition program, and this is where I come to you guys and report what I've learned from him and give details like that. But today I wanted to do something a little different, and I thought a lot about it, but you know when sometimes you just feel like you need to say something and you hesitate, but you just feel like it needs to be said. That's how I feel right now. So this is sort of following me. I want to be true to myself and speak from the heart. And you can of course read more detail in the blog, but this is my little snippet of everything that I wanted to say. And it's hard to say, but when it's hard to say, it's usually what you should. As you can see also, I'm coming from my son's room. No reason other than that was the only way to keep him out. Back to the point. I've noticed many of you have struggles, and you know the reality of life is there's depression that we deal with, and there's loss that we deal with, and there's the real heavy stuff that we have to encounter in life that a lot of times that we just gloss over, or put in our back pocket, try not to think about it, don't talk about it, tough it out. And seeing a lot of you going through this, some of you being open about it, some of you keeping it to yourselves more, makes me want to connect and talk about it. I wrote in the blog about how I was encouraged to come up with a word when I became a coach to kind of be my brand or describe me as a coach. What do I want people to think of when they think of Coach Lonnie? And for me, right away, immediately, it was connection. I feel like most of us, what we want in life is to connect with others, to be able to connect with ourselves. We're all kind of seeking that, and I don't believe that I can help anyone that I'm not connecting with. I don't think you trust me if you don't connect with me, and I don't think you open up if you don't connect with me. And I want to do the same with you because frankly, I'm no expert. I've learned a few things that I'm happy to share and talk about, but I can learn as much, if not more, from all of you as you can learn from me. So I'm just talking about experiences, and I'm paying attention to all of you because you've all, taught me a lot in your own ways. So what I wanted to share with you today was a little more about me. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but today's a good day to do it because it is my daughter's 6th birthday. I know most of you know about my boys, but I do have a daughter named Aisley. She died during childbirth at 41 weeks back in 2012. So we lost her, and I'm not often able to talk about her, but I wanted to talk about her today because I want you guys to understand that I have been through a deep trauma that I was able to crawl out of that hole, or I'm still climbing. Sometimes I fall back in, but I can crawl back out. And I feel like I see a lot of you struggling and climbing your way out of your holes as well. And I've learned a few things that I'd like to share that can maybe help some of you. We all have our own pain in varying degrees, but when it's your pain, it's all about perspective. It's everything when it's your pain. So there is no greater than, less than. We all have our pain. So what I wanted to share was a couple things that has helped me move forward. One is connecting through that pain. I absolutely connect with people through joy and happiness and positive things. It's not all about, the deep stuff all the time, but when we neglect to share the deep stuff, I think it goes untended. And I think speaking about it, or even writing it down, saying it to someone, saying what your pain is, what is hurting you, your loss, whatever, your depression, speaking about it, there's a sort of liberation that happens, or an unburdening, because it doesn't go anywhere until we release it, and sometimes we have to release it over and over and over and over. But when you can release it to someone else and connect on that level, and they can share with you what their pain is, what they're struggling with, I've never experienced deeper connection than through the things that we hold within ourselves and that we keep secret for whatever reason. We all act like we have everything under control and we're all happy all the time, but it's just not true. So connecting on that level in any way, talking to a therapist, talking to a friend, reaching out to me, any of the coaches, share it with people. Don't just hold on to it. That leads into the next idea I have for you, which is don't avoid it. It's not comfortable. Just like when we're in the gym trying to push ourselves, you often hear from us, get uncomfortable. That's when we grow. It's no different when it comes to our hearts and our minds, which we have to take care of, I would say, more importantly than our bodies. They're all important, but I think the mind and the heart are most important. And if you're stuck there, you're not going anywhere. So I know sometimes it works to ignore it and to pretend it's not there. And that could work for a while, but it's not going to work forever. And that's why when, for example, we hear a song or something reminds us of whatever our struggles are around, we just lose it. And it was there all along, and here it is, and it comes out like an explosion. The best way I've discovered to get past that pain is to go directly through it. Look at it, examine it, go right to that source, go right to that horrible moment or that person or that thing or whatever it is, and pick it apart, stare it right in the face. Obviously, this is something I would encourage you to do with a trauma therapist, or any sort of therapist for whatever your struggles are. If someone hasn't experienced a trauma per se, this could be your low self-esteem, or it could be your depression, it could be anxiety, it could be struggles at work, it could be struggles with family, it could be any number of things. Anything you're struggling with, you have to get at what the source is. And definitely what has helped me the most was going right through it with my therapist, because you eventually realize that it is not as powerful as you thought, and when you stare right at it, it doesn't seem as big as it was, and you can do it over and over again. The other thing that I wrote about is, and this is where I think people might be like, what are you talking about? But for me, I had to find the beauty in what happened to me. It's never really about what happens to you, because we have no control over that. What it's about is how you react to it. What is your perspective? What do you take from it? How do you move forward? And I had a choice. I could wallow in it, be miserable, take myself out, sink deeper and deeper, never leave my room. Or I could move forward and search for that beauty, because believe it or not, there is beauty in everything, and there is a way to turn that pain into power. I'm not going to say you're going to feel powerful all the time, but you can find it. So an example is, you can, well, for me, one of the things I struggle with, aside from the obvious from my loss, is I'm very fearful of losing loved ones, especially losing my boys. I'm pretty terrified in moments that anything could happen, because I experienced that things can happen immediately. Life is short. However, finding the beauty in it, I realized that I have this awareness now where it allows me to be more present. I think I'm a better mom. I know I'm a better mom. I love my family even harder. And I get off track just like everybody else, but I'm quick to reprioritize and find the perspective of what is important and what isn't. And you can find that in your struggles. You can find the beauty in that new perspective. Another important thing, and I don't want to be talking your ear off here, but this means a lot to me, is connecting, again, like I said, with people who are in similar pain, similar struggles, who have been through similar things. There are a million volunteer opportunities for amazing causes of something you may have gone through. Anxiety, abuse, losing children, losing loved ones. I know Lance and Catherine do a lot for suicide prevention and reaching out. Things like that can turn that pain into power, and all of a sudden you're helping people through something that you know what it feels like. If there isn't something for your cause, create it. If there isn't a group to meet like-minded people, start it. That is something you can do. Whereas maybe you feel like there's nothing you can do. But there is always something you can do. So those are different examples of how you can find beauty coming out of this horrible thing that happened, or this horrible situation, or whatever you're going through. So I'm going to end with that. I hope it's okay that I went off script. I felt like it was important. I'm not sharing any weight or measurements or any of that stuff, although I'm still trucking along with all of that. I haven't, derailed, and I still promote Lance wholeheartedly. His program is amazing. But today was really about me connecting with any of you that I can, and if it's just one of you that I've helped today, then I'm glad that I did it. So walk right through it, do the scary stuff, do the work, keep the hope, and that's what I really want to leave you guys with today. So I'll see you guys in the boom room.